Guys, welcome to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As you come into the chat, be sure to drop your elephants, your crowns, your Christmas trees, whatever is getting you in the festive mood. This is our weekly recap of some of your favorite shows on TLC, which we are calling Tuesday's TLC Takeover. Shout out to already 50 people in the room. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We appreciate you all being here for this, lunchtime. Some people are on their lunch break. We appreciate you being here. We're live on multiple platforms. Right now on TikTok. Hey, TikTok. We're also live on Twitch and Twitter at TheKempire, at Kempire Daily. And we're live on Facebook. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, TheKempire and Kempire Daily on Facebook. Shout out to already our Team Kempire and Royal Court members in the chat. We see you guys. Let's get a little festive. Let's give people an opportunity to get into the chat.
321 days I spent the better half of the year just holding your space. I've got all the lights hanging up you can see from the street, but if you're not coming over, you can light up my dreams. Every snowfall reminds me to call, 'cause I know if you're not here, then it's not Christmas at all. This year, oh, I believe you're coming back to me. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, oh. If you're coming around, if you're coming around. I feel like Christmas every day of the year, but I can't feel it by myself. Only works if you're here. And a little bit of magic and a little faith can make every storm that's ever come just fade away. Now every front door reminds me of you, all decorated, anticipating good news. I've got one Christmas wish, top of my Christmas list, to be your angel when the sun's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven on earth in this town. It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, oh. If you're coming around, if you're coming around. I don't want much this time of year, no. Everyone wants to feel less alone, but just like putting on a winter coat, you could always melt away the bitter cold. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming down. The song is singing, and you're here all around. Small piece of heaven It's only Christmas if you're coming around. If you're coming around, oh, you're coming around. You're coming around. Hey, if you're coming around, it's only Christmas. I'll be your angel when the sun's coming down. Small piece of heaven, all that glitters down. It's only Christmas if you're coming around.
Woo! Move your body, you move your feeling, you move your emotion. Smiling when you don't feel like smiling, do it. Do it, guys. This is our Tuesday TLC takeover where we talk about some of your favorite shows on TLC. I know there's tons, but some of our favorites include the 90 Day Fiance franchise and the family Chantel. We're going to talk about 90 Day The Single Life. If you're not watching, it's available on Discovery Plus season 2. Season 1 is now available on TLC. But before we get into that, shout out to everyone in the chat. Thank you for getting into the holiday spirit with me. I know some people just don't feel up to it, but if you can feel a little bit of the holiday spirit here on the channel, I'm happy, and I'm happy that you guys can join me for that. If you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts on 90 Day Fiance, the family Chantel, 90 Day Fiance, The Single Life, and 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, the tell all. I'm grateful they kept it at one part. At first, I was like, this is long. How many parts is this going to be? But they kept this entire tell all for 90 Day Fiance The Other Way, one part. So for me, 90 Day Fiance The Other Way was a stellar season because they came in, they did what they were supposed to do, even though it was a long season. They did not drag out the reunion. They did not drag it out, and I'm grateful for that. But before we get into that, we have to talk about the family Chantel. All right. But before we do that, guys, we have over 100 people watching. Be sure to like the video. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. We appreciate you guys. 90 Day Fiance, there's so many shows that we watch where we get hundreds of people that come into the chat and they love the shows and things like that. 90 Day Fiance and some of the TLC shows are some of our slower shows, but because I love it so much, I don't care. I'm going to keep talking about it because I love 90 Day Fiance. I've been watching it for the last few years and I'm invested. And I know so many of you, some of my hardcore Kempire fans are invested as well. So we're going to continue to follow some of these messy shows and talk about it. And shout out to you guys that have been asking me to recap and review Married at First Sight. We did a overall review of season 13. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. Starting in January, we will be recapping Married at First Sight Boston every single week. So make some time in your schedule to be here for that. And if you enjoy content like this and everything in pop culture, be sure to subscribe to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Shout out to everyone that's already in the chat. We appreciate you all being here. Let's get into the family Chantel. Okay, so the family Chantel, as I said to you guys before, I wasn't sure about season 3. Season 3 was slow. But then last week, it really sort of picked up. Winter broke up with her boyfriend, Ja, her fiance, Ja. I felt for Winter this episode because, we don't get a lot of real moments in reality TV. But I really feel like this relationship was falling apart. And her crying over not being able to be in her stepdaughter's life, I felt was a real moment. I felt was such a real moment. Yes, we still get a lot of pre-produced moments with Karen, but Karen, she makes the show for me. Let's be real. Karen makes the show for me. I don't know about Chantel. I don't know what's going on with Chantel. Who snatched her? I feel like we get a lot of fake moments from Chantel. Not from Pedro. I really believe Pedro when he's being goofy. I believe when he's having issues with his family. Chantel, there's I don't know. I know you guys know what I'm saying when I'm talking about Chantel. It feels a little inauthentic. It feels like she's become very self-aware of the cameras and how she views herself on the show. Chantel, we just need you to be a little bit more relaxed. Just a little bit more relaxed. This is your show. It's named after you. Okay? But let's be real. I've never really loved Chantel, to be honest with you. This is Wit. Wit says, unpopular opinion, I really like Pedro. That's not unpopular around these streets. We've been saying that for weeks. Pedro, his goofy side, his really emotional side last week, He got really emotional talking to his mom or trying to talk to his mom about his father. Pedro is the man for me this season. And last season too. Last season he didn't have a lot of drama. He was just like the light, goofy one last season. And this season we're getting to see so many sides of Pedro. And I get where Pedro's coming from, but I also get where his sister Nicole is coming from. And that's how siblings deal with family drama very differently. Nicole's not my favorite. Trust and believe, she's not. But I get where she's coming from versus where he's coming from. And they all sort of turned on him when they went to the Campo. And they were like, this is how Dominican men are. What? So I can see how that messes with Pedro's mind. That's how Dominican men are. That's how you guys have accepted it. Is my family a family of users? Was Chantel's family right about you guys? Did I use Chantel? And they're saying that, oh, he's changed because he's moved to the US and all this other stuff. Of course he's going to change. He's going to evolve. He's going to see a different life. He's no longer in the DR. He's making a way for himself. He's living with an American girl. I like Pedro, though. That's not an unpopular opinion. We love Pedro around these parts, especially in the recent seasons. Jennifer says, so was Pedro it's proving to be a good person? I'm not sure I understand what you're saying there. Shatanga says, I believe this is how Karen acts off camera. She's just a crazy mama bear. Oh, I agree. Although there are some little pre-produced moments with Karen, I do believe Karen is a little interesting. Honestly, I really believe that's who she is. Hey, Whit, no problem. Whit says, I'm new here. Sorry. Don't be sorry. But trust and believe, I'm glad you said it. We love Pedro around these parts. Guys, you're just joining us. We're doing our Tuesday TLC takeover where we talk about some of your favorite shows on TLC. The Family Chantel is up first. Don't forget, we will be going live at 5:15 p.m. Eastern. You all have been texting me, Kempire, are you going to recap and review Secrets Revealed, The Real Housewives of Potomac? Yeah, we're going to. We're going to. At first, I was like, is it worth it? It's worth it. We're going to talk all about it. So set your reminders. The link is now available. Join our texting community if you haven't already. I will be sending out the link there as well. So join the texting community at TextKempire.com. Back to the Family Chantel. So Pedro is still dealing with the aftermath of his conversations with his mom. His mom's just like, she's over talking about it. As I said last week, I think there's something deeper going on there, and the mom refuses to, talk about it. But Nicole brings up a good point. She says, she doesn't like the fact that Pedro's being so disrespectful to his mom because she's the one who stayed. She's the one who took care of them. And I have to agree with her in that regard. But like I said, there's more to this story that we're not getting. So did she stick around, or did she have to stick around because she was the other woman? And she decided to have these kids with this man even after she found out that he was married to someone else. Oh, Jennifer. Jennifer says, sorry, just got out. Jennifer, well, I hope you had a good surgery, that you're feeling better. It's okay. You do not have to apologize. I was really trying to decipher what you were trying to say, but that's okay. That's okay. Ryan says, I think Karen fires off many of her Karen-isms during her confessionals, and editing just picks out the best on air. God, can you only imagine what they say that we haven't seen from Karen? Karen invites herself to this all-girls trip because Chantel is going to the DR because Pedro said that he needs her there. So she's going to go. And she tells him that she's going to bring Winter with her because Winter just broke up with Ja. Pedro's like, they're going to get back together. They break up and make up all the time. But it seems as if this is definitive. What was up with the bonfire? They were burning all kinds of letters from Ja. Ja wants her to come back home, but Ja's refusing to allow Winter an opportunity to see the daughter that she helped, raise with him for like the last 7 years. They were together for 7 years, Ja and Winter. So he's refusing to allow her to see his child, but because she doesn't have any legal bearings, because she didn't adopt this child calls her mommy. I fell for Winter. When she really broke down, I was like, oh, damn. This is a real moment. This was a real moment. Aviva says the bonfire was toxic. I wouldn't expect anything less from this family. They were sitting around the bonfire, burning jars, letters, clothes, not the chocolates. They're like, oh, let's try the chocolate. Thank you so much, Kimmy. She says, new subscriber here and loving your positive outlook. My new favorite channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Shatanga says, Winter needs to get her groove back. And you know what? I'm here for the all-girls trip to the DR. I'm here for it because I think we're going to get some funny moments. Honestly, River and the dad, I could care less about them. I don't even care about River's relationship with this other woman, even though next week they're going to explore that. This other woman just wants to be on TV. I'm not interested in River's relationship. Okay? Matthew, stop. Matthew says, I prefer summer to winter. Minky Finky says, Ja is controlling. He's using the child as leverage. He got into the religion to justify his control issues. That's a good analysis, Minky. That's a really good analysis. I believe it. And I feel bad for the child because she is used to winter. That's like your mom, the person that you consider your mom, not necessarily your blood, but someone that has raised you, abandoning you, because who knows what Ja is telling the little girl. And she just disappears from your life. Let's be real, though. If I was in Winter's situation, I mean, it wouldn't be easy after 7 years of raising a child. But part of me was like, that's not my child. But if you make a real connection with the child and you help raise them, it's not about blood. It's about the connection. And that's why when people adopt, and we're going to get to adoption because we have to talk about the whole adoption storyline that they're talking with Kenny and Armando, 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. Because I was disagreeing with everybody involved. Except Kenny's son. Kenny's son was the only one speaking sense. But I'm going way too far ahead. This week's episode was okay for me for the family Chantel because I feel like we didn't get a lot. They just landed in the DR. So we weren't really getting a lot. I think next week's episode of the family Chantel will be more interesting because Nicole hates Chantel, still hates Chantel. She doesn't like what Chantel's been saying in her confessionals about her. Rightfully so. I wonder if they will ever get to a place of getting along, or do they try to not get along for the show? Because there have been some heated exchanges between Nicole and Chantel. But now Karen is there. You knew that Chantel and Winter could not go to the DR without Karen. You could go to the DR without Chantel's father or the brother. You cannot go to the DR without Karen. She's going to help bring this storyline together. Okay? But this episode really was about Winter's relationship and how that's fallen apart and how she's trying to move forward. And I really believe that she is trying to move forward. Asia says, can we talk about how Nicole wants to fight Chantel and not just like verbally fight? She's like ready to throw down with her. I don't think Chantel's about that life. Honestly, I don't think Chantel's about that fighting life, but I don't know Chantel like that. So, but Nicole's like ready to, Cheryl says, Karen is weird. We know. We accept Karen for who she is because she makes great television. Speaking of weird, we will be talking about, you saw the thumbnail, Stephen with a V. I really tried to find the good in Stephen this season, but this tell-all was a mess. Ida says, nah, Nicole is awful. Her and her mom tried to break up Chantel and Pedro. I mean, I agree. And I think that they were using Pedro, but if you have Caribbean family, then you understand the plight of Pedro and sending money back and things to your family in the islands. Just saying. Donna says Chantel can't handle Nicole. Not based on how, because Chantel, she could barely move. So I'm just sort of like, I can't see her fighting. I cannot see her fighting. And Tracy says, oh, Steven, no. Rasheen, thank you so much for the super chat. They need Karen for the reads. They do. They're terrible reads, but they're funny for us. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rasheen. JMM55 says, Chantel ain't gonna mess up her pretty face, and Nicole talking trash ain't gonna do nothing. I don't like Nicole or her mammy. I I normally do not enjoy the Nicole and mom scenes. Honestly, we've been saying that for weeks now. It just feels like when she talked about how Pedro is disrespectful to her mom, but you've been disrespectful to your mom too about your relationship with Alejandro, who we don't care about. Is Alejandro going to come to the DR? If Alejandro does not come to the DR, but maybe he can't get off of work. Courtney says Karen is a better actress than Chantel. She is. A weird one, but she is. Cheryl says Karen was right about Pedro's family. I mean, Pedro's having that realization in the DR right now. He's having that sort of realization about his family and what they've done over the years. But he is going to try and reconnect with his father, and he's going to try and have Nicole go with him. As I said to you before, this week's episode was sort of like a bridge into everyone being in the DR. Again, we didn't need the brothers. Where's Royal? We got Royal in the beginning. Royal said, I'm not doing reality TV anymore. I need Royal and his messy wife. I'm going to say it every single week. Royal says, I'm not coming on this show again. Donna says Chantel is boring. She really is. It's all about everyone else. The show is named after Chantel, but the show is really about her mom. It's about Pedro. Pedro adds some funny to me too. Pedro has really leaned into being very funny. And Pedro also gave us a real moment last week when he was heartbroken by the things that his mom was saying about his father and their history. That was a real moment. So it will be interesting. And Pedro is very real with the rest of the Chantel family. Like when Winter was in the car and he picked him up from the airport, he was like, oh, you broke up with Ja. You'll be back together with Ja. And she was like, no, this is it. This is really it. So she's working. Look, I'm happy for Winter. Winter, I hope she does not get back with Ja. I know they were together for 7 years. And a lot of people find it hard after you've put so much time and effort into a relationship to let that go. But girl, don't waste another 7 years of your life. He is controlling. And as someone just said, he's using the religion to justify that. And now he's trying to use his daughter to control you again. So we shall see. Deborah says the title says it all. The family, Chantel. Donna says, I'm rooting for Winter. We're all rooting for Winter. Winter, stay strong. I know you're probably watching this. Stay strong. I hope you have not gotten back with I'm about to say Pedro, with Ja. Let's move on. Just because there's so much to talk about. The 90 Days of Single Life is exclusively available on Discovery Plus. They're not paying me. I'm just letting you know. Okay. 90 Days Single Life, the first season was really good. Unfortunately, we had Big Ed. And unfortunately, we have Big Ed again in season 2. But apparently, it didn't happen in this week's episode, but apparently there's something that goes down on camera. I don't know if it's a shooting. Something goes down, but the cameras everyone starts running and ducking. I think that's next week's episode. Stephanie, is her name Stephanie? I can't remember. The young lady that went to Australia and everyone kept on saying she's not a real lesbian. 90 day. We could have did without her this season. She's so annoying to watch. I was okay with her when we were first introduced to her. Watching her on this journey of dating and it was weird. Yeah, it's Stephanie. Thank you. Stephanie, you can go. I did not enjoy watching her on 90 Day The Single Life. Big Ed, I'm over Big Ed too. I get why people are over Big Ed. I didn't mind Big Ed in season 1, but he's still on his journey. If you follow all the news, you know that Big Ed is engaged to the young lady that he brought on season 1 of The Single Life. Viva says Stephanie is cringy. Hold on, wait. Tracy says Stephanie's annoying AF. Asia says, yes, that's Stephanie. Thank you guys. Dinah says Royal and his wife is not playing family games. Don't blame them. Whitney says, I can do without Stephanie and her mom on Pillow Talk too. Oh, yes. She's annoying. And I honestly wasn't annoyed by her originally, but now I am. Ooh, Aza says Sinjin and Stephanie can go. Sinjin, who's still living with his wife, told the family this week that they're divorcing because he doesn't want children, but she does. The mom is like, did you not know this beforehand, before getting married? And then, of course, her daughter brings up the fact that you're still legally responsible for him even after we get a divorce, because you know that's a stipulation for the K-1 visa. He's here on a K-1 visa. But now he's living under the same roof with his wife, but now he wants to be single. He even revealed that they're still having sex, but now he wants to be single. I never liked their relationship in general. Sinjin was probably more likable than his wife, which I can never remember her name. You guys will remind me in the chat. I think I just really blocked her out because she's always been annoying. And sometimes I look at these folks that are on these shows and I was like, they're just using this as a storyline to get a check. Anuli says, I believe Sinjin will do the right thing by Stephanie. See? Miss Beast Corner says he needs a check. Tanya, thank you. I couldn't remember. Rasheen said Tanya. I always block her name out. Thank you, guys. Everyone's like Tanya. Ugh. She was always annoying. Sinjin was actually a lot more likable. Watching him, though, on The Single Life when he really isn't single, he's still married and living under the same roof as Tanya. But the messy conversation that, you know, Tanya's mother never liked him, but she's legally responsible for him even after they get a divorce. But he would like to move on and get, start dating. We'll move on. Debbie, Colty's mom. I felt for her. Like, first of all, the fact that Colty's like, you need to move out by the end of the month. I don't think he means that, does he? I hope not. But beyond that, she's getting back into the dating world. You know, her life has always been about her son, Colty, and being involved in his relationships and her cats. But now she's talking about having, her own relationship. She talked about in a previous episode that she was having sex with a man. I know. Nobody wants to picture this, but good for Debbie. But the man told her to be quiet. She was talking too much during sex. If someone was ever to say that to me, it would be the first and last time that we would ever be having sex. I felt for her. And then she went on a date with this other man who they seemed like they were vibing. And then at the end of the day, he was just like, yeah, I don't see it going anywhere. But again, Debbie's another level of interesting. I'm not going to say weird, of interesting. She's all about her cats. Debbie, you're at a certain age. When you start talking about your cats too much, then people kind of view you as the old cat lady. If you're trying to be sexy and vibrant, why does she get that tattoo on her chest? Of all places, if you're going to get a tattoo, get it somewhere, not right dab smack right here. Well, she's going to go through her own little transformation and beautification. I do want Debbie to get some love and get some. It seems like she's just looking to get some. As she should be. Colty is a mama's boy for sure. And that's why I don't really see him kicking his mom out like that. But he is married now. Alex says Debbie was having a full-on conversation bent over. Oh, Tracy says Debbie is so cute. I hope she finds her a nice guy to take her to bingo. She can cook him steak and have lots of schooly. Oh, Debbie. Ida says her makeover was awful. Oh, Cheryl said it had been a long time for Debbie. It had been a long time for Debbie. I just didn't think that Debbie would be talking so much during, but everyone's different in the boudoir. But there are people that are very verbal and, when they're having sex. But I have a feeling that Debbie wasn't talking about the sex. She was talking about, so what are we doing later? I love cats. How about you? Or you got to be a little bit quieter. My son's next door. Nora says, I do hope that we all hope Debbie that finds love. We all hope that Debbie finds love. I think we all can agree with that. Alex says Debbie will be the Angela. Will get the Angela treatment soon. I don't think she needs to do that. Debbie is far too at a certain age that she should not be going under the knife like that. I think Debbie is cute just the way that she is. I don't want her doing all of that. Please no. Brenda, can you imagine that mouth running during sex? And it's also the tone of Debbie's voice. I'm picturing it and I don't want to picture it. Oh Lord. Guys, we have over 200 people watching. Be sure to like the video if you haven't liked it already. It's an easy and free way of supporting the channel. And don't forget, it is the holidays. Get your coldest water bottle today. Coldest water bottles come in a variety of sizes, colors, and they don't just have water bottles. They have other products that you should check out as well. Get a gift for yourself, get a gift for your family and friends. Use the discount code KEMP10 for 10% off. I love my coldest water bottle. Get your coldest water bottle today. More information is available in the description of this video. Back to this. So 90 Day Single Life, it's still good. It's still probably one of their better shows. I still need to get into 90 Day, the Caribbean. There's so many 90 Day iterations, but 90 Day Single Life is still really, really good. What couple did I forget about from not couple? Oh, Natalie. Natalie is more annoying. Like she was annoying with Mike, but she's even more annoying. At one point, she slaps this man that she was on a date with. This man is using Natalie to be on the show. He takes her to a modeling date. Natalie's walking and she's modeling. And I'm like, this is so annoying. This is so annoying. I don't want to see this. This guy is using the show so he can get his modeling career off. I can't. I have to say, there are more people on 90 Day The Single Life that I'm not interested in seeing. So I don't know. I'm going to keep watching. Speaking of which, Jesse. Remember Jesse from the Netherlands? And I always remind you guys, I've been to the Netherlands multiple times. Jesse is probably, okay, I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it. Don't say it. Say it. Don't say it. Say it. He's the ugliest Dutch guy I've ever seen. You guys are terrible. I'm just saying. Jesse is a bad representation. Jesse has flown to Colombia, right? To meet Jennifer. Jennifer already has a boo. I'm somewhat interested in the storyline, but Jesse is so pre-produced. He's so fake to me. And it's so obvious how fake he is. The suit that he wore on their first date, him trying to speak Spanish. He finally does sleep and kiss Jennifer. I don't see it for this relationship. I think Jennifer and Jesse are using each other to be on the show. I have to say, this season, the cast, I'm not loving them. I'm not loving them. I think they're more annoying than they are entertaining. Season 1 was better. The only one I'm rooting for this season probably is Debbie. Everyone else, and like Big Ed. Big Ed is introduced, one of his friends introduces him to a young lady. I believe she's in Mexico, right? And I think he goes down to Mexico. We will see in the next episode. And then something really goes off. So like a real moment happens where everyone's ducking and running for cover. Tara says Natalie is a bunny boiler. Oh, Lord. And Cheryl says Jesse wants to be a Ken doll. And he's so... I mean, Jesse has a nice butt, though. Lisa says, where do all these poor people get all this money for airfare? And Wit says, I do not like Big Ed. I'm really surprised that Big Ed is even welcome back because so many people have said that. And to be honest with you, he's so fake to me too. I'm not interested. Tracy says, yes, fake. I'm not buying it. She's being over dramatic too. Let's get into 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way. Tell all. Again, thank you, 90 Day Fiancé producers, for keeping this tell all as part one, as just one part. Because I honestly, by the middle of it, I was like, how long is this tell all going to be? And then I realized they ended it all together. They covered all the couples in this tell all part one. As you know, we've been talking about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, and we've been loving it. It was a good season, and they covered everything. They covered everything. Where is this guy? Hold on, y'all. Is this it? Oh no, we'll get to that. I'm trying to find my Oh, where is this boy? Do I not have it here? Hold on, y'all. We'll use this picture for now. Thank you so much, Hadasa. Thank you so much for the super chat. Jennifer was with Tim Malcolm for before the night. Yes, we remember, because apparently Tim is the one who hooked up Jennifer and Jesse, and people have been questioning Tim's sexuality based off of some of the things that Jesse said about him. Oh, Stephen with a V. Oh, Stephen with a V. Hold on, y'all. I got to use this picture because this is a better picture of Stephen from the Tell All. Guys, we are talking about 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Tell All. There was only one part. I'm glad and grateful for only one part, to be honest with you. Let me just pull this picture up here. There we go. Stephen, first of all, Stephen, he was a star at this reunion because he said so many inappropriate things to the other couples. And I didn't mind the fact that he called out Evelyn. He said, this is the most modest I've ever seen you dressed. And he always comes out of left field. And I'm like, wow, didn't expect that. Didn't expect that. But we find out in this tell-all that Stephen wants to have a threesome, that he cheated on his ex-girlfriend. We got to meet his ex-girlfriend. Poor girl. She basically was there to support Alina. Alina, again, I'll remind you guys, she's probably 21 now. Very young girl. I think she's just always wanted to be married. She reveals, after everything we find out about how Stephen cheated, how he was talking to other girls, she's like, I'm going to give him one more chance. I'm going to give him one more chance. We've already been very critical of Stephen with a V because of his hypocritical behavior. He wants Alina to live a certain lifestyle when it comes to his Mormon religion, but he does the complete opposite. And to be honest with you, I saw some of this behavior in the season, but it was on clear display in the tell-all. How he was judging Evelyn when his behavior has been horrendous. And I'm not even trying to defend Evelyn. We will get there. Let me see what we got. Yvette says, Stephen is a whole mess hiding behind his religion. Mama says, he's not ready for marriage. He did it for the show and attention. Tara says, Corey owned Stephen over religion. Never saw that coming, right? Because Corey comes across very like, JM says, oh no, Stephen, Beavis Butthead. That boy is cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. He really is Beavis and Butthead. We're gonna just do a quick synopsis of, because I'm gonna drop the call-in link because I know you guys have things to say. If you want to call in and share your thoughts on any of what we've talked about so far, normally we don't do that for 90 Day Fiancé, but we're gonna do it today because I do want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me just drop the call-in link. Hasada, thank you so much for the super chat. She says, I'm a psychotherapist and believe there are several mental illnesses and possibly on the spectrum. I can see that. Honestly, I can see that. And that's a lot of people in reality TV, to be honest with you. I see a lot of people that, and I'm not a therapist, but I'm just like, some of the behavior that I see on these shows, I'm like, okay. Thank you so much for the super chat. JMM says, Stephen must lead with some kind of money to get girls because he is goofy. He is. I don't know what he leads with. But look, there is someone for everyone. Sheikah Vaughn, thank you so much. What's going on? She said, I do not like Evelyn or her sisters. We'll get to Evelyn in a second. So, Stephen, So as I said to you before, we find out that Steven is cheated. We find Steven's ex-girlfriend comes and she pretty much is trying to warn Alina, but Alina is so dead set on making this relationship work. She could not get the visa to come and be at the tell-all with him. So, we all speculated that, they've been in separate countries. Apparently, I didn't know that Armando was a part of the Mormon religion. That was another revelation that we got. We will talk about Armando and Kenny in a second because I can't with that family. But Steven, to me, and I know so many of you have been saying this from jump, but Steven really showed me his real self at this tell-all. How judgmental he is, how hypocritical he is. Because you sitting there talking about how modest Evelyn is dressed, and you're out here cheating on every relationship that you've been in. I liked Steven in the beginning. I was like, oh my God, he's goofy and crazy. But you're really toxic. Let's move on. Speaking of toxic, Jenny and Sumit. We were so happy for Jenny and Sumit that Jenny and Sumit were able to get married. They did not tell his parents. We thought he was going to tell his parents on the show. At the tell-all, he still does not tell his parents, but they do explore how the parents are still not, although they accepted Jenny, they were like, we won't accept her as your wife. Still, despite what the astrologer said, they're still not in favor of it. We thought he was going to tell them on the show, which I thought would have been inappropriate anyway. That's not the way to tell your parents. But I wonder if he has since told his parents. Asia says, where is Alina's mother? Well, the last we heard, Alina's mother was not interested in their relationship happening. She wanted her to come back home with her, and she didn't. But Alina's of age. Alina can do what she wants, and she seems dead set on being married to Steven. Okay? Cheryl says Sumit is a coward. We've seen such coward behavior from Sumit for so long. Venus says they fakely accepted Jenny. Of course, we all knew that because in the same breath of accepting her in their confessionals, they were like, yeah, we're not going to accept them. We're doing this because the astrologer says they believe that Sumit would change his mind if the family accepted her, if they just showed support. But it's clear that the family does not accept this relationship, but they're married now. So what does this mean for Sumit and Jenny? Will we see them on 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way again as a married couple and this all play out? I don't know if I want to see that. The hardest part was getting Jenny there and getting her married. They're now married. I don't know. Will they try? Look, I trust the 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way producers because they did a stellar job this season in playing out the storyline for 14 episodes. I'm not sure if I'm that invested anymore with Jenny and Sumit. I've watched them for a long time on this show. I've watched them for a long time. And I'm not sure if I'm still interested in seeing. They got married. That was a beautiful moment. It sort of sealed the deal for me. Okay, let's move on. Ari and Benny. So their story plays out in the tell-all. And basically the big issue is Ari's relationship with Leandro. We saw this play out during the season, but also her relationship with Benny's sisters. She's still saying that Wish, Benny's sister, is the one who said that, Benny had cheated on her, was with other women. Wish denies that. She says, that's not what I meant. That's not what I said. Ari, I've said this every week, and I'm going to say it again. I don't believe that there is love between these two. It doesn't feel like a love relationship to me. Yes, Benny is here now on the K1 visa. They confirmed that he's in the studio. But as I said to you before, the only part of this storyline that I'm interested in is the reunion between Benny and his ex-wife and his child. I'm glad that he was able to come to the U.S. Now he can be with his kid. I don't know where in the United States his ex-wife lives, But I'm actually interested in seeing that reunion. That's it, though. I don't want to see anything else. Let's finish off this story because Ari is annoying to me. I told you guys I've done this every week. Ari is annoying to me ever since her mother left her in Ethiopia and she was like, I don't want to be alone with you. Why? Of course, she went to Ethiopia and helped him get the K1 visa because obviously he's here. But to me, that relationship has been inauthentic. Leandro makes an appearance at the reunion, which I was happy about. Leandro was like, I'm still going to be her friend. Unless she tells me she doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, I'm still going to be her friend. Everyone's like, she's annoying. Ari is so annoying. Yes, she is annoying. Yes, she's annoying. Very annoying. Cricket says, Ari is too controlling. We're seeing a lot of that. Uh-oh. DH says she's going to call the cops on him. I hope not. Especially because he's a foreigner. He cannot get in trouble. If Benny gets in any sort of trouble while here in the United States, they will deport him. I can't. I can't with this couple. I'm not even interested in talking about them. And I know I've been an advocate for them to be on Happily Ever After, just so we can see this reunion. But Ari is annoying. Let this be their let this be their happy ending. He's back in the States. He's here in the States to be with both his children. Gabby says, who is supporting her? Her parents. I'm sure her parents are the ones that signed off as Benny's sponsor to be here. I'm sure it's not Ari. And to be honest with you, during this tell, I sort of checked out when they were going back and forth between Benny's sisters and Ari. Ari gets up at one point. Ari looks good, though. I'll give it to her. She did look good. Benny looked good. They actually look good as a couple. I still don't believe that there's any love between them, especially from Ari. I think Benny loves her. I don't feel like Ari loves him. I think she had more affection for Leandro than she did for Benny. Because her face was glowing when Leandro came out. Sarah says she has a permanent crying face. Oh, Lord. All right. Tracy says her brother and sister seem fairly normal. What happened to Ari? But Ari always was the different one. Remember, she's the one who left her home at 19 and lived abroad. So she's always been that person in the family. So it makes sense to me that she's different. Speaking of different, can we talk about, do I have a picture of these people? I don't know if I have a picture of them. It's so unimportant, but no, not that picture. I'll use their old picture because I'm just not that invested in this couple. I haven't been invested in this couple. We've gotten their storyline at the top of this episode. Corey and Evelyn reveal that they're not in a better place because based off the things that she saw on the show, she can't believe she believes that his relationship was more with Jenny, and we all saw it. We all were advocates for him to get with Jenny and leave Evelyn. But they're married. They get married. Corey's still very much in love with Evelyn. He even tries to give her a rose during this episode, and she doesn't even want to be next to him. We've said it every single week in covering the story. She hates him. Why did you marry him? Her sisters make an appearance. His family makes an appearance at the show. He's very upset because his family has not visited him. He's been in Ecuador for 7 years and still speaks struggle Spanish. How are you in Ecuador for 7 years and you are not fluent? Like, it's got to be so difficult for him to communicate with people. But I get where the family's coming from. We all don't like Evelyn. So can you imagine her being in your family? Evelyn, if you have so many issues with this man, why are you with him? Oh yeah, the money. Allegedly. Because we've seen more hateful moments between you two, and we can all say that's editing. But even when he proposes to you, it was awkward. Corey, I know you want to stay in Ecuador. Just get with Jenny. Jenny seemed like she really loved you. Abby says Evelyn only married him to get that TLC check. Cheryl says Corey and Evelyn don't like each other. He looks miserable. Yeah, I actually think that he loves her on some level. I think he just likes to be abused, unfortunately. We know people like him. We know people like him. Ariana says her sisters are also a problem. They are unsupportive of the marriage. And the fact that she's even taking anything that they're saying with weight should say a lot too. They need to mind their business. Where are their husbands? Wait, they're too young. But they're saying that Corey is a liar. I don't know. Corey also seems to me very much like a Steven, where he looks like he's innocent and goofy, but he's actually toxic. So I wouldn't be surprised if Corey is a little toxic. I just don't need to see this couple anymore. Can we be done with them? Tracy says, yeah, he likes the abuse. Nora says her sisters do not help at all. They do not help at all. Let's talk about the family. Let's talk about the family of Armando and Kenny. We were so happy for Armando and Kenny last week because they got married. They got their own People exclusive. We love this couple. They make us cry every single week. This week, of course, Kenny's crying again. Kenny is crying again this week. His family's on Zoom. His family's in person. Armando's sister and mother are on Zoom. The conversation of, first of all, Kenny's in the United States because his daughter is about to give birth. I love his daughter. His daughter to me is probably the most likable. His other daughters and the son is actually, he was the only one I agreed with this episode because the daughters, Kenny's daughters were like, we would prefer if you would adopt because it's going to be weird. Like you're going to have a grandbaby that's, younger than your, you're gonna have a grandbaby that's older than your child. It's gonna be weird. That's only weird for you guys. Who cares? Mind your business. But then Armando defends his family's perspective and says, I understand where my mother's coming from when it comes to adoption. They would much prefer that you have an actual biological baby. We've talked about this countless times. We talked about this countless times in regards to adoption versus people getting surrogates. Look, you can do what you want, but there's so many kids that need loving homes. So why not? So I don't agree with Kenny. I don't agree with Armando, and I don't agree with Kenny's kids. The only kid that I agree with was Kenny's son because he's like, adopt. I don't care what you do. Do whatever you want. That's not really our business. Everyone else has their own opinions on what they want Kenny to do with his own life. Kenny is grown the last I checked. He's grown. Lisa says Kenny really was a major voice of reason at the tell-all. I mean, he was, but I need him to really figure out he needs to put boundaries with his kids. Yes, I want to hear your opinion. However, I'm going to do whatever I want. But I also feel like this is just a storyline. I'm done with Kenny and Armando, though. To be honest with you, I love Kenny and Armando. They gave us 2 great seasons. We got our wedding. It was beautiful. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this anymore because I don't care. Kenny is overgrown. You know what? Thank you so much, Whit. Marsha says Kenny is always crying. What's the deal? Kenny is very emotional. Yeah, he is. Look, he is. And I get it. He's very invested in his children. He wants to be a part of his children's life. He's still finding it difficult living in Mexico and being away from his kids. And now he has another grandbaby on the way. Look, I get it. Do I think Kenny and Armando will eventually move to Florida? Probably. And Kenny said in this tell-all that Armando changed his life. He's invested in Armando. He's not going to give that up. So Kenny's not leaving Mexico anytime soon. And Hannah is so adorable. And I love her little cut, her haircut. Nora says, Kempire, stop. They will be on Happily Ever. I don't want them to be on Happily Ever After. What are they going to talk about? The adoption, unless they really do adopt a child, or are they going to get a surrogate? I don't know. I agree. Like, adopt a child. There's so many children that need homes. We saw it this season. They went to a foster care, an orphanage. There are so many kids that need homes. I'm not thinking like the kids are thinking, oh, it's going to be weird that you have a baby and you got a grandkids older than the baby. I don't care about that. They're speaking from their own selfish point of view. I'm speaking from there are kids that need homes and that probably won't be adopted because of their age. So many, I'm just going to talk from the gay perspective. I know so many gay men, gay celebrities that are out here getting surrogates and having babies. Rightfully so, y'all can do what you want. It's your life. But there are so many kids that need wonderful parents that can take care of them. And so many people are like, no, I want a brand new baby. But like I said, your life, your money. But then we still have these kids that probably won't ever be adopted, that will continue to grow up in this very still dysfunctional system of adoption in this country and foster care in this country, that there are so many people that could provide great homes, but no, I want a brand new baby. All right. K11 says, exactly, Kempire, they would be perfect candidates to adopt an older child. I'm with Kenny on this. Nicole says, the fact that they had the people cover makes, the people cover, that makes me think TLC is going to milk this ish dry. Good point. I guess we're going to see Kenny again. Kenny and Armando, which I like them. Don't get me wrong. I like them. I like them even more this season. I enjoyed watching their wedding. I'm just kind of over the entitled kids of Kenny, and I'm over Armando. Like, oh, I want to adopt a baby. JMM says, did Kenny have all 4 of his kids by the same surrogate? I can't remember. I know we always try to remember what that story was, because I know Kenny said that he didn't expect that he would ever have kids. I don't remember. I'm sure it's out there on how Kenny had his kids. I can't remember, though. Wit says, I'm with Kenny on this, too. Lisa says, yes, that was so sad to see those kids in the orphanage and hearing that it's against their culture to adopt. So, and that, again, in Mexico specifically, it's against their culture. They don't, I mean, I want to say against their culture, but it's not common. And then you have all these kids that probably need loving parents like Kenny and Armando that they get. But like I said, I can't control what they decide to do with their lives. It's their money. It's their livelihood. But I feel like and I hate to do this comparison, but I've done this before, because so many people talk about, oh, you should adopt dogs instead of getting, like a pure breed dog and things like that. We put so much care and focus into that, but we don't put the same care and focus into children that are in the foster care system. Anyways, I say all that to say, if I do end up having children, I probably more than likely will be adopting. Yes, would I like to recreate these genes, DNA? Maybe. But still. Sarah says, I agree with you about Kenny and Armando. Yeah. Asia says, the girls are triplets. The son is the oldest. And the son was the only one that I agreed with. Minky figures, you're so right, Kempire. And I'm not just saying this for you guys to agree with me, because some people will disagree with me. But at the end of the day, their lives. Anyways, guys, if you're just joining us, we are talking about some of our favorite shows on TLC. This is our Tuesday TLC Takeover, where we talk about 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way. We talked about The Family Chantel and Discovery Plus's 90 Day The Single Life. If you're watching the replay of this, be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to share this. Share this on your Instagram. Share this on your Twitter, your Twitch, your TikTok. I appreciate you all being here and being a part of the conversation. I'm sorry I didn't get to the callers, but we will be taking callers for The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Secrets Revealed. We will be going live at 5:15 p.m. Eastern later today. The link is available on the Kempire Daily YouTube channel. Be sure to set your reminder so you don't miss out on that, and join our texting community. Head on over to TextKempire.com for more details on that. Did I forget any of the couples? Oh, I did. I did forget some of the couples. Not some of the couples. The only other couple that I forgot, oh my goodness, Ellie and Victor. I don't feel like we got a lot from Ellie and Victor. Of course, Ellie's friend came came on the show, which I loved her friend. From the moment we met her friend, I loved her friend. He's here on the K1 visa. She revealed that they applied for the K1 visa before she even decided to move to Providencia. So he's here in the United States. He is in Washington State with her making pizzas. He did cheat on her. They talk about him calling her cheap. I don't see it for this relationship. I'm with the friends. I don't see the future of this relationship. I do think we're going to get them on Happily Ever After, or maybe before the 90 days, because, you know, maybe they're documenting that part of their lives. I like Ellie. They opened the season with Ellie's storyline, and I was like, wow, this is dramatic. I was really in. Sheila says, please cut that string. His hair right here. Lisa says, they are forgettable. That's why. I know, but the beginning of the season, I liked Ellie's storyline. But by the end of it, we didn't get a lot from them from the tell-all. We didn't. Cheryl says, yep, Victor and Ellie were kind of quiet. But that doesn't mean that the 90 Day producers won't bring them back for Happily Ever After or Before the 90 Days. Before the 90 Days is usually my favorite anyway, of all the iterations from 90 Day Fiancé. We're going to continue to watch this, guys. If you're a fan of 90 Day Fiancé or TLC, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Ellie, good luck. I don't know what else I can say in regards to that. Evelyn and Corey get a divorce. Steven with a V and Alina, just get a divorce. Stop giving him chances. He's already shown who he really is. Ari and Benny, do what you want. I'm happy for Benny that he can at least be with both his kids. That was a sad part of his story, is that he was separated from his son. So good luck with that. Submit and Jenny, congratulations. I'm happy you were able to get married. I don't care if you tell the parents, never. Honestly. But I'm kind of done with you guys. I don't want to see Jenny and Submit anymore. They've been on this show for years at this point. Years. I'm over Jenny and Submit. Happily Ever After. I mean, like, no, just go. I don't need you on Happily Ever After. Who else? Kenny and Armando, congratulations. Do what you want, but you heard my stance on it. Thank you to the 90 Day producers for making this just one part. Guys, I appreciate everyone that sent in the super chat. Sorry to those that tried to call in. I was going to take callers, but got to wrap this up because there's more videos, more content. There's a lot of videos that I put out yesterday, guys. So if you missed any of that, I had a Travis Scott story, a Chloe story, Jussie story, and of course, some of your favorite reality TV stars stories as well. Just posted a story right before this live in regards to Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. There are 2 housewives allegedly having an affair with the same man. Be sure to check that out as well. Thank you to our Team Kempire and Royal Court members. If you would like to become a member of the channel, head on over to TeamKempire.com. Thank you to our moderators for being here. And welcome to some people that are just finding the channel. We're over, I think we're at 57,000 subscribers. Hold on. 57.5. 1,000 subscribers. So shout out to our new subscribers. Shout out to all of our subscribers for being here and supporting the channel. If you're watching the replay of this, I want to know your thoughts on the family Chantel, 90 Day The Single Life, and 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, the tell-all. Thank you all for being here. Sending love right back to you guys. Let's get out of here. Let's play a little bit of music and have some fun, guys. I'll see you guys at 5:15 p.m. Eastern for our Potomac Secrets Revealed.
321 days I spent the better half of the year just holding space. I've got all the lights hanging up you can see from the street, but if you're not coming over, you can light up my dreams. Every snowfall reminds me to call, 'cause I know if you're not here, then it's not Christmas at all. This year, oh, I believe you're coming back to me. I'll be your angel when the snow's coming coming down, the song is singing. Angel here all around, small piece of heaven. On earth in this town, it's only Christmas. If you're coming around, if you're coming around, oh, oh. If you're coming around, if you're coming around. Feel like Christmas every day of the year, but I can't feel it by myself. Only works if you're here, and a little bit of magic and a little faith can make every storm that's ever come just fade away. Now every front door reminds me of you, all decorated, anticipating good news. I got one Christmas wish, top of my Christmas list, to be your angel. When the sun's coming down, the song is singing. Angel here all around, small piece of heaven. On earth in this town, it's only Christmas. If you're coming around, if you're coming around, oh, oh. If you're coming around, if you're coming around. I don't want much this time of year, I know. Everyone wants to feel less alone, but just like putting on a winter coat, you could always melt away the bitter cold. I'll be your angel. When the snow's coming down, the song is singing. Angel here all around, small piece of heaven. On earth in this town, it's only Christmas. If you're coming around, if you're coming around, oh, you're coming around. If you're coming around, if you're coming around, it's only Christmas. I'll be your angel when the sun's coming down. Christmas, small piece of heaven. On earth in this town, it's only Christmas. If you're coming